Hello! I guess it's time for some kind of update. Today is the 12th. It's almost been 2 weeks. I intended to do updates a lot more frequently than this, but yeah, that's life, I guess. So I've been on the carnivore diet for 11 days, I guess. Or is this zero based? Okay, so I haven't been feeling very great the last weekend and today either, really. So I actually slept in this morning to catch up on some poor sleep the last few days. So I do have a sleeping problem. That's the main reason I'm doing this, and I intend to make a video about my reasons why I do this, my whys, my deep reasons to do this. It's not just about weight loss. I mean, weight is something that everyone can see, but my 15 years or more of sleeping problems is actually the worst part that I want to fix. And actually I think the sleeping problems is the root cause of many of my problems, including trying to lose weight. So I'll do a separate video on my whys, I guess. But today is the 12th day update. It's supposed to be the 1 week update, but I guess I didn't find the time or energy to do that. So I've got my phone over here with some notes. I have been weighing myself, and I have pricked my finger to get blood ketones and blood sugars. So I have some new insights on that. Let's go over the improvements I've had first. So I started the diet or challenge by waking up early on the first day and walking out 1 hour before work or something like that, and recording a quick video, upload it to YouTube, and tell everyone that I'm doing this. That was the start. Now I really have to stick to it, because the accountability is kind of strong. I don't want to make a fool of myself. So yeah, so that started with quitting coffee and going full carnivore, meaning I don't use a lot of dairy. I use beef, butter, bacon and eggs and fish, and no coffee the first day. And so that was a Friday, and I stayed off the coffee throughout the weekend, and I slept a lot. I guess quitting coffee both gives me a headache and a reason to sleep. Was kind of bad, really needed to sleep. So I slept I think more than 12 hours per day. And then Monday came, and back to work, trying to do this without coffee, and immediately I really couldn't perform. So I got back on the coffee again. So that's really something I should get off coffee. I shouldn't drink coffee at all. For me, usually it takes about 5 days to get off coffee before I feel better. And then it's the habit part too. So you get to work, you grab a cup of coffee, and you want it to sit there with you while you're working. Okay, so that's a bad habit, I think. So when I started drinking coffee again, I performed kind of well the first day or two, but then I guess the sleeping problem caught up with me. I also experienced a lot of stress during 2 days at work, more than usual. I guess I can assume that
When I experience stress,
the cortisol goes up and will produce, result in a higher blood sugar, blood glucose, and that prevents you from getting on ketosis. So that's a problem. Whenever I feel stressed out, I think I can't lose weight, and it's also related to weight too. So if I accept poorly, I will become more stressed.
and everything is a destructive
circle, I guess. So yeah, I'm suffering from a bit of brain fog right now, I guess. I'm not speaking very, I'm not thinking very coherently and so on. Okay, so let's get on to some improvements. When first going on the diet, the first hurdle to cross is the cravings. But they weren't so bad. I mean, I've been trying to start the diet for the whole summer, and I've been eating my meat and I've been eating my fat, but also the carbs. So I haven't gained weight actually, but I haven't had my cravings under control either. But when I got to this first video, I knew I had to stick to it. So actually, the cravings went away after about 2 days, and they weren't really bad. It was kind of okay actually. I felt reminded to eat some carbs, but it wasn't very strong. Then on the 4th day, I noticed the cravings were gone, but some of my old habits reminded me. So if I went to the supermarket, or really before even thinking about going to the supermarket, I could see the opportunity to get some cookies or something. But it was just a thought. It was not a craving. It was a habit, a memory that I could ignore. So that was the last time I thought about getting something. So I haven't had any problems with the carbs or junk food at all since then. But I have not been feeling well. So I still have some energy struggle and suffer from poor sleep. So one of my major improvements have been to my stiffness in my back. Here comes the train. All right. So stiffness in my back has been something I've been dealing with for, I'm 45 now. If I go to sleep and every time I wake up I have to crack my spine, I mean, that's not something that healthy people have to deal with, I think. So one of the that's the best improvement so far, that all my seizing up problems have ceased. No, I shouldn't say all my problems, but I have greater movement in those parts really. So I can, if I feel seized up, I can usually just bend in some direction and I can they come loose. So that's good, very good actually. So that's one of my main improvements. Here comes the rain. What have I learned this week? It's probably that I should try to get off the coffee anyway. Regarding my energy levels, one of these days I decided to take care of a tree that has fallen on my property. It had been lying on the ground for about 3 weeks, I guess, before I took care of it. So that's an improvement, I guess, because I didn't find the motivation to do it before. So suddenly I just went out and did it. And while doing so, I knocked over my camera, or rather my mobile phone that was mounted on a tripod. Then I got myself another camera, this Pocket 2. So there's another problem I have besides sleep that's been haunting me for about 3 years now, and that's a skin issue. My skin just starts to shed on my arm and it's one of my reasons why I do this, and it's been under control this whole summer, I guess, but now when I started Carnivore it flared up again, so we can take a look at that. It's this. This is kind of sad actually. I've been suffering quite a lot with this, and the fact that it's coming back now when I'm on Carnivore raises a couple of questions. I think that poor sleep and elevated glucose from the stress I was talking about is actually what triggers this. Maybe not the stress per se, but definitely the blood glucose. When I first started to measure my glucose during the summer, I noticed that it was a bit higher than I expected, and definitely so in the morning. So now that I'm eating a lot of protein, maybe that spikes glucose even more. Maybe I need to stay on the high fat food and maybe do intermittent fasting at least to keep this under control. And I mean, Carnivore is supposed to fix this, right? So if it doesn't in the nearest few weeks, I think I will have to try some fasting to resolve this. And I've heard about great success if you combine dry fasting and Carnivore. So if I try fasting, I might jump on the dry fasting wagon immediately, because I've done water fasting before. And what I'm saying is I need to make sure my blood glucose stays low and my ketones go high. And if that doesn't solve the problem, then I don't know. I'm a mess, I guess. But I've heard of many autoimmune diseases getting fixed by this diet, so I'm trusting it will work for me too. But before I started all this, I didn't know how much my blood glucose would spike when I ate something or when I was stressed out. So that's actually some key information that I have to use in order to do this successfully. So I'm a big fat dude with many years of insulin resistance. There is this dawn phenomenon people are talking about, and I read a little about it. It's this phenomenon where counter-regulatory hormones to insulin rise in the morning and will give you an increase in blood glucose if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, I guess. So as I haven't been eating anything for, say, 5 days, and still my blood glucose rises 2 millimoles in the morning, that's telling me something. According to what I read, a normal dawn phenomenon rise in blood glucose should stay under 0.4 millimoles from baseline. So if I have 5.5, I should not go up to 6. But I was definitely over that, so I'm remembering numbers like 7.1 and even more. So it might be a sign that my liver is pushing glucose out of the liver and actually healing, but it also takes my ketones down when this happens. So if I go for several hours with low ketone values, that explains why I'm so tired all the time, because I'm not eating carbs, so I don't get any carb energy, and I also don't get the ketone energy. So now add some work stress to that and a lot of coffee. Yeah, it's not very good. So I hope I will stick to this. This is I don't take this as a failure in any way. I just need to give it time. And fortunately it's very easy. Sometimes I don't really want to eat, so I don't have to. And sometimes I really crave meat. So I'm also looking into this, that maybe when I eat a lot of protein my blood sugar rises, which I don't want. So I might have to ignore Dr. Anthony Chaffee's advice to get another steak if you think it sounds good. It'll be cheaper too. I need to get my blood glucose in check, which I could also do by exercising, which I don't. Not yet. I'm too tired all the time, but there's a point in actually doing exercise to get the energy, so we'll see about that. I might come with a more sensible update around exercise in the near future. If you listen to, for example, Kelly Hogan about you should take a walk after eating a protein heavy meal, people seem to agree on that, and I never do. I eat and then I sit down. That's my style. So maybe I should listen to that advice and just do some more walking. I'll show you how boring that road is that I can walk on, though I kind of hate it. So maybe riding my bike instead. But we're in September, so that opportunity is quickly fading away. Yeah. So I think that's it for this update. Hopefully I will have some nice stuff to tell you next time. Bye.